Hello. Welcome back to another mini live. So today we will be talking about the benefits of bone broth and a few of our favorite bone broth recipes. Before we jump into that, I just wanted to let everybody know, in case you haven't seen it, we have a sale that has just started. So 30% off all of our patches and our patch programs. So that includes if you purchase individual patches, say our Inner Goodness lymphatic patches, or if you choose to purchase a detox patch program. So they're all 30% off. It's for a limited time, so make sure you jump in quickly so you don't miss out. So our topic today, as I said, is bone broth. For anyone who's kind of not aware of what bone broth is or what its benefits are in general, it is a really highly nutritious stock that can be made by simmering animal bones and connective tissues. So basically what happens is when we simmer the bones and connective tissues for a long period of time, it extracts a lot of the minerals from those bones that we otherwise wouldn't have access to if people were simply eating meat. So it does give us a very different nutritional value than what you would otherwise get from a standard, animal-based protein or food intake. And that's why it's so beneficial, because it is so much more nutrient dense. So we've got 5 top benefits today. And on that note, our first one is that it is nutrient and mineral dense. So as I said, as we soak the bones and connective tissue, I say we because you can make it yourself. You can also purchase it, but the option is there to make it yourself. As the bones and connective tissue are simmered, the actual vitamins and minerals, particularly minerals, are able to be extracted from those bones and connective tissues. So the bone itself has minerals like calcium, phosphorus, sodium, magnesium, and potassium. The marrow of the bone, it gives you lots of different vitamins. So like vitamin A, B2, B12, vitamin E, plus some omegas, and other minerals like calcium, iron, selenium, and zinc. The connective tissue then provides glucosamine and chondroitin, which some people may know if you've ever looked into our ingredients or researched ingredients in general. They're ones that we actually include in, I don't have it with me, in New Nourish. So they're excellent for helping regenerate and heal our connective tissue. They're really good for any sort of joint pain, muscle pain, particularly joint pain. When there are some benefits of research that shows that chondroitin and glucosamine can help restore and regenerate some connective tissue and certainly reduce a lot of connective tissue pain, which has a lot to do with our joint health and function. And then gelatin is also one of the unique amino acids that is particularly high in bone broth. It also contains glycine, which is really, really effective for helping healing. So a lot of people will take bone broth as a bit of a gut healer because it does contain gelatin, which helps the cells of our gut lining to... What's the best way to explain what it does? It improves their integrity, let's say. So when we have damage in our gut lining, a lot of the cells start to pull apart. They might become inflamed. It can look a lot like eczema, but inside our stomach. When we take something like gelatin, it can actually help to bring those cells back together to help smooth out the surface of the gut lining so it doesn't look so much like eczema, so it looks more like healthy, vibrant skin, but in your stomach. So the second benefit, one that I just touched on, is gut healing and digestive support. So as I just said, bone broth does contain some gelatin, which has been shown to help that integrity of our gut lining. Something that people may have heard of before is a condition called leaky gut, which is where the cells pull apart. When the cells are apart, larger particles can move through our digestive tract and into our bloodstream, which otherwise shouldn't be there, which causes an inflammatory response, sometimes an immune response as well. And that can cause a lot of different symptoms. So for instance, digestive symptoms, but also things like brain fog, low moods. Eczema is a really big one, joint pain, Conditions of our gut have been linked to so many different symptoms. So it's really important to address our gut health in terms of our general health and well-being, to try to keep it something that maintains consistency and maintains being as good as it can, so that we can avoid developing any sorts of unwanted side effects. But if you are experiencing any types of symptoms, really, it's always really important to look at your gut, because it's linked in so many ways. So bone broth has been shown to help with gut healing and digestive support, which then can in turn help the body to actually absorb more nutrients. So basically, if we're not able to effectively break things down, we're also not able to absorb the nutrients that come from certain foods. So aiding our digestive support is really, really beneficial for our overall health. And then a little bit more on the gelatin. So if you picture anything, if anyone's ever cooked with gelatin or eaten even jelly, anything with gelatin in it, lollies, not that I'm saying lollies are healthy for you, but they contain gelatin, and it gives it that gelatinous texture, which is really what makes it stick and gluggy, and that might not necessarily sound like something that's good for our health. When gelatin, a pure gelatin, is able to infiltrate our stomach, it actually, that gelatinous element can naturally help to repair the lining of the stomach. So it's really that factor of gelatin that has all of the benefits. And it is very abundant in bone broth and has been shown to help aid the digestive tract. Our next benefit of bone broth is skin health, and also that it may be anti-aging. So bone broth is associated with collagen, which is one of the structural proteins of our skin, cartilage, and bones. When boiled, the collagen in connective tissue, so during the whole bone broth process, when we're boiling bones, the collagen coming out of the connective tissue that are being boiled is broken down into gelatin and various other health-promoting amino acids such as glycine and glutamine. These are all really beneficial for the state of our collagen. One, for laying down more collagen, but also for preventing the breakdown of collagen. Two really important factors to consider when we're talking about our skin health and our collagen in general is one that we want to be able to lay down more collagen, but we also really need to prevent it breaking down. So collagen works in little cross fibers. So if I was able to, you could kind of see it would be a larger version of something like that, where everything is kind of cross-linking. And basically, we want to keep those cross-links nice and tight. And by taking bone broth or by eating bone broth, we can actually help to prevent those from kind of breaking apart. And then number 4 is our immune system. So this links a lot to our gut health. So not only is the small intestine the primary site for nutrient absorption, it's also the first line of defense for our immune system. So a lot of our immune cells and immune functions are either located or carried out within our digestive tract. So by taking bone broth, that helps strengthen the integrity of our gut lining, and also then in turn help to balance out the bacteria and kind of correct any sort of dysbiosis or bacterial misalignment, I guess. We then in turn help to strengthen our immune system. So there have been a lot of studies that have shown specifically that those who take bone broth have had stronger immune responses than those who do not. And our last benefit of bone broth is for your joints. So studies have shown that the collagen derived from chicken cartilage is effective at improving pain, stiffness, and joint function in patients with osteoarthritis. Gelatin can also be really helpful for injuries. A lot of these benefits do link back to a lot of the same compounds within bone broth, and that is gelatin, the production of collagen, production of inflammation, and a lot of the minerals that are really specific for helping with the proper functionings of our muscles and of our neurotransmitters and of our energy production and of our gut cell health. Okay, so I hope everyone is feeling ready to eat some bone broth. I'll just quickly talk about a couple of good ways that you can incorporate it into your diet. Actually, I did really want to mention, and I really should, I've had this up before, but let me pull it up now for you because it's really beneficial. Anyone who is on one of our detox programs, you will have seen that we do have bone broth and also vegetable broth included in our program. So, all right. I'm pretty sure it's 500. Okay. So our program does allow for up to 500 milliliters of bone or vegetable broth every day. So for anyone who is currently in our challenge or on one of our detoxes or you're preparing to start a detox, you can reap the benefits of bone broth at any time during your detox every single day, up to 500 mils a day, as long as the bone broth or vegetable broth doesn't contain any added sugar, oils, colors, preservatives. All really quality bone broths don't have those things. It's really just if you happen to find any kind of cheaper ones. We do have some available on our website. I believe that the bone broths are currently out of stock. They will be restocked. We have some really great vegetable broths, which are also really high in vitamins and minerals. So some really good ways to incorporate bone broth or vegetable broth into your diet is you can just sip on it. You can literally just combine it with boiling water and drink it as a drink, almost like a liquid soup. You could mix it into soup, so use it in replace of stock, into salad dressings. Every time that I personally don't eat meat, not all meat, but when I do have vegetable broth, I often will put it in my salad dressings because it's kind of like a very flavorsome stock. It's delicious. It just makes everything taste better. You could pop it into scrambled eggs or scrambled tofu. You could use it while you're sauteing your veg. It goes really well in a stir fry. You literally just sprinkle it on the top as you're frying all your veggies and your meat, and it adds a really great flavor. Obviously, also adds a lot of health benefits. You could make a chicken noodle soup. One of my personal favorites is to add it into a tofu mushroom ramen, or you could do any type of ramen, but it works so well in a ramen, particularly if you add in a little bit of miso paste. I almost lost the word there. If you add some miso paste in there, it gives you the best umami kind of deep flavor. And then another great way that I love to use bone broth or vegetable broth is in cauliflower rice. One of my favorites is cauliflower rice shrimp risotto. So you would literally cut your cauliflower up into tiny florets that look like rice, and then cook it lightly in some broth, and then add in your shrimp. And I would also add in some spring onion or maybe some other herbs, depending on exactly how I'm feeling. And that is delicious. It just adds the best taste. Again, obviously lots of health benefits. So yeah, I hope you guys have found that helpful. I hope you've learned a lot about bone broth, and I hope you've got some great ideas of how to use it in your diet, particularly while you're on detox. Make the most of it. It complements a detox so well. All of those benefits that we spoke of, whether you're on original or active, are all extremely desirable. I think a lot of us can relate to some sort of gut discomfort or some sort of, skin challenges or just wanting everything to be a little bit better. So yeah, make the most of it. And again, if you have any questions, pop them down below. Otherwise, we will see you for the next mini live. Thanks for joining.